What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So I've been asked this a few times recently. It's kind of odd timing, so I figured why not let's do a video about it. If I was starting over, because it's no secret that I like the affordable stuff, I don't have to have super expensive niche fragrances to smell good and enjoy how I smell. Cornerstone of this channel and my content and that collection behind me is some great affordable options. So if I had to start over, what's the first 10 affordable fragrances that I would buy? Not necessarily the only 10, but what's the first ones I would think? I need to go ahead and add those, knowing what I know now and how they smell and all that. So these are the 10. Some of these may surprise you. Some of these absolutely will not surprise you, and you're expecting them if you're a regular on this channel. But let's discuss, shall we? Stay tuned. Let's go ahead and get the most anticipated and most expected from my regular viewers out the way now. Of course, I'm getting Salvatore Ferragamo Acqua Essenziale Blue. This is a cornerstone in this collection. It's the most relatable to this channel when it comes to affordable fragrances. And in my opinion, it's still the best affordable blue fragrance. One of the best blue fragrances, period. I just love it. It's beautiful. It separates itself a little bit. It's like a powdery Dylan Blue in many ways, a little bit of Bleu de Chanel's citrus, but the lavender tonka bean combo offers itself to be aromatic, powdery with a light sweetness. And it does have some freshness, but it also has some earthiness from some cypriol oil to go in the dry down. It's nice. It's really, really nice. It's a great performer on me. Such a good fragrance. I've always been a fan of this one. I don't think I'll ever not be. If I'm starting over, I'm grabbing some affordable options. This is a no-brainer. It's not just let's get it out the way because you're expecting it. It's probably the first one I'm going for. It's one of the first, if not the first fragrance I'm reaching for, because you can still get it for a great price with all the different bottle sizes. It's just a staple in anybody's collection that likes blues or likes versatile fragrances, but you do have to like powdery. This is one of the more powdery blue fragrances out there, which I adore. So, got to start it off right. Of course, I'm going to get my hands on Salvatore Ferragamo Acqua Essenziale Blue. Now, this is just super affordable when it comes to niche. I mean, I have to grab it. It's the only niche fragrance in this video, but I would have to have it because you can get it a lot of the times for like 65 bucks, which is super affordable. It's not a straight up cheapie, but it's very affordable. It's Mancera's Cedrat. I stand behind this one. The two that we're starting this video with are legitimately the two I'd probably start with if I'm starting over. And the two that I recommend the most over the years, this is my most recommended affordable niche. That's my most recommended affordable fragrance, period. This is so good. Wicker basket full of fruits. I've said it so many times over the years on this channel, and I still feel that way. So beautiful. It's not overly sweet. Still has a sharp lemon. Like the fruitiness isn't super sweet. There's a light fruity sweetness. But that sharp lemon really helps. I think kind of takes some of the edge off of what could be a very fruity sweet top. With a nice woody tone. It's not overly leathery. The Intense has much more leather than this. But it's fresh. It's versatile. It's a true Swiss Army knife fragrance that's good for everything. It pulls compliments. It works great in all four seasons. Dressed up, dressed down, day, night. Doesn't matter. It's really good in every situation with every attire. Not just good enough, but really good with all of them. I mean, I just love the way it smells. So I absolutely would have to, grab this almost immediately. It's Mancera, Cedrat. This next one's not always the easiest to find in stock, but it's still very affordable anytime you can find it. You can get it anywhere from the low 30s on up to $50, $60. And I don't see it not being worth it at any of those price points, honestly. It is Missoni Wave, a personal favorite here on the channel. Smells like affordable Chanel Allure Sport. It's citrusy, it's aquatic, it's aromatic and soapy. It's got a sweet, creamy floral smell to it. It's got a lot going on. It's such a vibe. This fragrance is such a vibe. I haven't worn it in a little while, but I would have to have it. Even though I don't wear it as much as I once did, it's one that's a staple in anybody's collection that likes fragrances like this. You can think of fragrances that are clean, soapy, and fresh like Versace Pour Homme. You will get a little bit of that in here, but it's more so Chanel Allure Sport. Super mass appealing, easy to like, compliment pulling kind of fragrance. better in the warmer weather, but if you live in a warm climate like I do, the winters aren't so cold that you can't wear this one if you want something on the fresher side, because it does have a little bit of density with this vanilla orchid note that's in there. Like I said, that sweet, creamy, floral smell that it has, it's dominant with this vanilla orchid as it dries. Just really good stuff. It's absolutely one of the first ones I'm thinking to grab if I'm starting this collection over with some affordable options. One of them has to be Missoni Wave. At this stage, probably my favorite vetiver fragrance. I think this is a true Swiss Army knife vetiver dominant fragrance because the watery notes here add a level of freshness. They kind of tone back some of the earthiness. It is from Lalique. It's Encre Noire Sport. I'm a fan. I think this is such a good fragrance. I'm going to get it to focus. It will focus whether it likes it or not. There we go. Beautiful stuff. Does have that earthy, woodsy vetiver, lightly smoky stuff, but like I said, the way the bergamot and the watery accord comes across in here, magnificence for less than 30 bucks most of the time. You can just call it around $30. Such a juicy bergamot smell. This is my favorite of the three. They have a new Encre Indigo at the recording of this that I haven't smelled yet. I will get at some point, but I think this is superior to the original. And this is much more wearable, especially for daily wear, than the Al Extreme, which is a lot of people's favorite. That has more of a mysterious, dark wow factor to it, whereas this just has the wearability working for it. It's fresher overall. It's got a classiness to it. There's elegance. Enthusiasts of this hobby can enjoy this for the price point. This is really, really good stuff. This was kind of the turning point for me with vetiver. I only had a few that I even liked because vetiver was kind of a weird note for me. And over time that has changed, and I have a huge appreciation for this one. It's crazy to think when you smell this one how much it costs, because it doesn't smell like a $25, $30 fragrance to me anyways, but performance is above average, and there's never a bad time for this one. I think it excels pretty much in every situation year round. If you want something a little bit fresher but has a lot of depth and scent profile character to it, this is one I would absolutely have to get back immediately, is Lalique's Encre Noire Sport. Knowing what I know now, I would actually get this over Versace Dylan Blue, because to me it smells very much in the same vein, but way spicier. Facconable Riviera. Picked this up for $20 from Ross Dress for Less. I believe it was Ross Dress for Less. Not that long ago. And you can find it online for 20 some odd bucks. It's not as good of a performer as Dylan Blue. It's more in that 6 to 8 hour range in longevity on my skin. I know some people get less, some people get more. Everybody's skin's different. I get that. But I love this stuff. It's basically spicy shower gel is kind of how you can look at it. Has the darker nuance, has the aquatic tone, has the warm ambery woodsy feel to it. Like I said, not exactly Dylan Blue, but in the same vein. I mean, it's not just a clever play on the bottle color. It's similar. It does the exact same job. I would wear it for the exact same things. It's a little bit spicier. So it speaks to me a little bit more, because Dylan Blue could have went in here. It's a very affordable fragrance too. And if I didn't own this and never smelled it, Versace Dylan Blue would be in this video, because I'm a firm believer in how great, the greatness that fragrance actually is. And that's one that had to grow on me. I did not like it first, but for my money, I kind of like this one better. It suits my taste a little more. Maybe you're better off with Dylan Blue than I would be. But this suits my taste a bit more. Like I said, that added spiciness that's intensified versus Dylan Blue, this one was a no-brainer pick. This was like the third fragrance I grabbed, even though it's not the third fragrance we talk about. When I was gathering them, it was the third fragrance that came to mind, because it just speaks to me that much. This is a great affordable option. It's Facconable Riviera. Now, I would have to grab something quirky, different, heavy, and I'd love to keep a boozy fragrance. And when I thought of that, like, I can't just have fresher stuff. I need something heavier, something I can wear in the cooler weather. And this was a glaringly obvious choice. I wore it recently, and it popped in my head right away. It is from Happyland Studios. This is El Goodo, and I can't say El Goodo without saying how it's very Goodo. May you rest in peace, EJ. This is a phenomenal grape apple whiskey smell. Even though it's listed as brandy, it smells like a whiskey note to me with this fruity notes accord that he put in here. And woods, cedar wood. That's basically what you're going to get from this. It's ridiculously strong. Damn, I love the way that smells, though. This is one of my favorite boozy fragrances. It's super affordable. For this 60 ml, you can get a 30 ml. I had to. When I thought of, I want something heavier and boozy, this immediately jumped in my mind, and there was no second thought beyond that. I literally went straight to the bottle, like, yeah, this would be the one. Is it technically my absolute favorite that the EJ's ever made? No, but it's one of my 5 favorites for the 30 some odd fragrances he created. And it's such an oddball boozy fragrance that's why I love it so much. And this is one that I could literally do one of those giant sprays you just saw. I could break that down into 3 light spritzes, that one spray, across going around my neck, and I'm good. People are going to smell me. I'm going to smell me constantly to kind of live in that sillage and enjoy it for a while. This is the one. If I'm getting something heavier for the cooler weather and I want boozy, the no-brainer was indeed Happyland Studios Goodo. You know why? Because it's very Goodo. Underrated and underappreciated. I like these versatile fragrances. This is basically the modern day kind of Ambroxan blue fragrance version of my dad's favorite fragrance, may he rest in peace as well, which was Calvin Klein's Eternity for him. But for me, it's Calvin Klein's Eternity Cologne. Some of you that have been watching for a while, you've seen me sing the praises of this for the around $20. You can $25 you can get this for. I think this is underappreciated, next to nothing in attention, but it smells like you still get that barbershop earthy green feel, like the oak moss smell and the aromatics and everything of the original, but with this, I believe it's Lorinox, which is in the Ambroxan family, and it smells like a fresh Ambroxan edition. Like I said, I know there's blue versions of this fragrance that exist already, but none of them smell just like Eternity, whereas this smells like the actual DNA, that's the name on the bottle, where stuff like Eternity Air and Acqua and all that, they don't even smell like Eternity. They smell like other fragrances. This ties directly to it like the Eau de Parfum does, and I absolutely love it. It's a solid performer, average stuff, like 6-7 hours in longevity for me, and it's one I could wear every day for anything. Fresh enough for the summer, dense enough for the winter, just not going to perform super good in the cold, but this is a good one. I love the way this smells. It's so underappreciated. There's another one that came to mind right away. Like if I'm starting over with some affordable fragrances, this is so underappreciated, and it may not set me apart from the crowd because it still does at its core smell like Eternity. It just smells like a better version of Eternity to me personally. So I would have to start with this one. If I'm starting over with some affordable fragrances, I am going the route of Calvin Klein's Eternity Cologne. Now, these last 3 choices are timeless classics, in my opinion, for different stages in my life, and I have to have them. I have to have them, even if I don't wear them all the time. When I want them, I got to have them at my disposal, starting with Tommy by Tommy Hilfiger. I just recently opened this 50 ml bottle because I just recently finished a 30 ml bottle of this. I've been through many bottles over the years. It's a slightly bitter, fresh, citric, green, spicy fragrance. A little woodsy as it dries, but a lot of the scent profile character that was once there isn't really much alive in the scent anymore, but it still smells great. You still get that bitter green feel, that cactus note that it's known for. This is such a good one. I love it. I'll never get tired of it. 90s in a bottle to me, my childhood in a bottle. This was the first fragrance I ever asked my parents to buy me when I was a kid. I love this stuff. I mean, this one was a no-brainer pick for me, more so than even Salvatore Ferragamo Acqua Essenziale Blue, because I just have to have it. I've been through more bottles of this fragrance than any other fragrance in my life, and that includes another fragrance we're about to talk about that's a pivotal fragrance for me in my life, just like this one. So I have to have it. It's always going to be cheap for as long as it's in production. It's just that good. One of my all-time favorites, Tommy by Tommy Hilfiger. So this is the other one that I've been through. I think the second, it's either this or Nautica Classic. I've been through the most bottles behind Tommy, which Nautica Classic is not in here. I could live without it if I had to. I could live without it. But Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue, no. I would have to have it. I would have to have it. If I'm starting over, I need to get this. It's affordable these days. Even a 4.2 ounce bottle you can get for around $40 to $50. It's not a killer performer. I get like 5 hours out of it, but this is one of the best smelling fragrances, if not the best smelling fragrance ever to me. I had to have it. This was another one I asked for a gift set for Christmas. Or no, I went out and bought it. I was old enough to just go out and buy it at that point. But man, if you wear all the flankers or you have a few of the newer versions and you've never smelled this, I am disappointed in you, sir. Young man, I'm disappointed in you. Get to a Dillard's or a Macy's or something and smell this fragrance. Put it on your skin so you can appreciate all the great flankers that have come out since. Because this in itself is a flanker of Dolce & Gabbana Pour Homme. Doesn't smell anything like Dolce & Gabbana Pour Homme, but this is citrus fresh, peppery, and smoky with a little aquatic tone going for it. Clean, musky smell, if you will, that early 2000s in a bottle in many ways. This is a moment in time, but it's timeless, in my opinion, because there's still a ton of people that wear it. You're still going to get a nice compliment from your significant other. Every time I wear this, my wife loves that I'm wearing this, because it's just like with Acqua di Gio. She loves when I wear that too, because some things are just timeless and never get old. That is how I feel about this one. This is another one where I feel like you should start with the first one if you're going to go through all the others, so you can really appreciate what they did with those flankers, twisting off the base DNA, because most of them, you do smell this one in those flankers. Forever, Italian Love, Sun, just go down the list. Most of the time, you're going to smell the original Light Blue. So I would definitely have to rebuy this one pretty much ASAP, Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue. Last but not least, I don't know, this is just special. It's just special. I think it's one of the greatest men's fragrances of all time. Regardless of sales, because I know they sold a ton of bottles, it's up there. But Cool Water Eau de Toilette, the original. I would get this before I'd get the flankers, because the Parfum's my favorite. Cool Water Wave is my second favorite. Like, I'm a big fan of the line, but I would want to get the original first. Minty green, aquatic, woodsy. There's a ton of notes in this one if you look at the note breakdown. But it's that simplistic. Minty green, aquatic, a little musky and woodsy. That's pretty much what it is. You're going to get some florals and stuff like that, like a radiance in the heart. But it's mainly a minty green aquatic. All time, we're spraying that again, all time great. I like this more than Green Irish Tweed. I know some people are going to say, but what about Aspen? Aspen's great too. It's much greener. Take the aquatic away and make it a piney green scent. Aspen's a great one too, and you can get that super cheap. You can get like $10 for a 4 ounce. But I would still want to go with this. I would want to go with this. This was a favorite among my family. This was my little brother's signature scent forever, next to ever. You know, I don't think he really wears it much anymore, but for like 20 years, that was his scent. 15, 20 years. And it's just, it defines... It does more than define a generation, in my opinion, because it's gone through a few generations at this point. Came out, I believe, early 80s, mid to early 80s, and it stood the test of time, and it will continue to do so as far as I'm concerned. I'm not getting tired of it. I've had a few bottles of it over the years. I want to say I've had maybe 2 other bottles besides this one, as well as the mild deodorant spray, which I still have a little bit in that bottle. I've had that bottle for over, like 12, 13 years now or something like that. I've had it for a long time. But this is good stuff. If you never smelled this, don't let somebody tell you it's some old man fragrance. Get it on your skin. You may fall in love with it. You won't know if you don't try. But I would have to get this one pretty much immediately too. The original, Davidoff Cool Water Eau de Toilette. Well, that's the video. If I had to start over buying some affordable fragrances, because that's how my collection started, buying some affordable fragrances for the most part, what 10 would I start with? These 10. There we have it. And until next time, do me a real quick favor. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. So I do appreciate all the feedback, and I love hearing from you guys. If you had to start over and you were on a budget, you didn't want to spend a bunch of money because you kind of wanted to explore, knowing what you know now, not going in blind and starting over for real, but like something happened and you're rebuying some affordable stuff to start over. What are you buying? These are the ones for me that came to mind right away. And until next time, I will say, if you get your hands on any of the 10 that I picked and you give them a spray now, you might end up thanking me later. Have a good one, guys.